Hello and welcome to the Short Take with me, Jake, and Alex.
Oh yeah.
This is episode 9.
Jesus.
Last week I actually said it was episode 7 when it was episode 8.
Oh my god.
But that's fine. That doesn't matter. This week... Oh, sorry. I think I just saw something. I think it's a little ditty coming out of the sky.
What? Oh my god, that's the ditty that I sing coming out of the sky.
Even though we're inside.
What does that mean? Coming out of what sounds?
I don't know.
Loud?
I'm actually going to turn the fan off. I feel like it's going to be an annoying noise.
Why do the fan? This is so unprofessional.
Very unprofessional. There we go.
Oh wait, did you hear that? It's the ditty. Short take.
I love it. And I really love the background noise of massive lorries going past the window because I can't close it.
There's a game in this podcast. How many times is it actually the traffic, and how many times is it me? Because I do perfect imitation of traffic.
Wow, that was a big lorry. That sounded like something dying. Let's move.
There's someone in your house.
Oh. Let's move on before anything else dies. So this week we looked at, as we said last week, part 2, the second version of Hero, the film by is it Dom Fera or is it Don Fera?
Dom Fera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By that guy. This one came out in 2017, so 4 years later, which we struggled to figure out last week.
Yeah.
So the synopsis of this one, I actually can't remember what the synopsis was for last week's.
I'll look it up while you talk.
Okay, so this week's one is, faced with his first real supervillain, an invincible superhero returns to his childhood home defeated and is forced to reckon with his fear, his identity, and the people he hurt along the way. So, I mean, do you have last week's synopsis, or do you want to do the Alexopsis first?
I'll do the Alexopsis. Sorry, I'm trying
Whilst
to...
we're waiting.
I'm sorry. I didn't have my phone connected to the Wi-Fi, and because of airplane mode, it wasn't working. So last week's synopsis was a young and nervous superhero grapples with his choice on the morning before his first big battle. That was the
Okay.
short synopsis for
Yeah.
last one. I bet you're wondering what the Alexopsis is
I am wondering that.
for this one. The Alexopsis for this one is wow, money can buy anything.
That is, well, you can buy a lot of things. Can't buy everything.
Everything has its price. So yeah, basically, Dom, as we established last time, he's an online creator. He used to make a lot of YouTube comedy videos, and he had some viral hits. And then he made Hero, which I think was just a little passion project he wanted to do. And then years later, so there was an online. I don't know if they were like at the time a platform, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know if they were kind of like wannabe YouTube competitor, because I feel like this is that time where there was lots of different streaming services like that trying to exist. But a company called Newform started doing this thing where they were funding certain young creators to make pilots, which is interesting. And
That is interesting.
Dom was approached about it, and he decided to do Hero. I don't know if he actually had an intention of making this into a series, and I don't see what it would have been, really, if it was. Like, this could have just been him using this as an opportunity to fund this short film.
Yeah, I think that's what I would say it is as
That's
well.
what I would
There's
presume.
not, like, if you did much more, it would just turn into a generic superhero thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so basically this time he had an estimated 25,000. That I don't know how accurate that is. But yeah, what did you... It's quite a different tone, I think.
It's a very different
to
tone,
the
yeah.
last one,
It's
and it mixes up a bit. Like the plot is not identical. In fact, it feels like it could almost be a sequel at the beginning.
I thought that as well, yeah. Obviously,
then
it
more
hits a
goes
lot
on.
of the same notes
Yeah.
as the first one, but yeah, you could call it a
Because it takes
sequel.
place at like a different time, right?
Exactly, it takes place like a couple of hours later, I
Yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
Any opening opinions?
I think it's great. I think again the standout thing is Dom's performance and writing. I think he really like shines on screen. Do you know what I mean? Like I think he captures the audience very, very well, and he does some really good dramatic acting in this one. Because like he was very funny in the first one, he was quite funny in this one, but he has like real emotional beats in this one. I think he hits them. Like I felt it.
Yeah, no, I think he does.
And
Yeah.
especially with a short film, it's really hard to make you give a shit in such a small amount of time. I think he really managed it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
no, I think he definitely did. I think you are right, his acting, it was a standout in the last one, it was a standout in this one as well. He's just quite good. he's
He's
quite a
right,
good actor.
actually.
Yeah,
He's actually right.
I personally don't think I liked it as much.
Really? As the first one?
Yeah,
That's completely fair. They're very different.
they are very
There's aspects of this one I don't like.
Yeah, because I said in the first podcast that we did on this one, I'd be really interested to see what the changes are, and I didn't expect it to be this drastic.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of
I told
changes.
you it was very different.
Yeah, it's very, very, like, it's almost a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Obviously the core value, the core themes and ideas are the same, but it's, you know, it's got different characters in it. It's not just him talking to himself or talking to the camera. There are still those elements, and I really enjoy those bits where he kind of says one thing to the camera and then says another thing.
Yeah, I feel that he did that. I think one thing this has more that the first one didn't is with the 3 other characters. Obviously, in the first short film, he has one character to play off, and then even then, he only talks to him for like one scene, essentially.
And to be fair, I think that's the weakest part of the film.
What, the other people?
Yeah, of the first one.
Oh, what, the first one?
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I think
yeah.
him talking to the camera in the first one is
Just the entire thing.
it's most of it,
It's
yeah, and
monologue.
it kind of breaks it when he talks to the other character. I think for me it's the weakest bit, but obviously it plays a purpose because he gets the letters and everything. But yeah, it's the strength of that film was him just talking to the camera. Sounds harsh, but it kind of, I think that does follow through to this film as well. Like, I don't love the side characters. There's too many of them for one. I think it's a bit crowded and they don't serve a purpose.
Okay, so that's interesting. I think I disagree with them as characters being there, if that makes sense. I think I like all 3 of them, like, conceptually. I think the only one I'm like, could have been done better is the dad. I think that's maybe more the actor than anything else.
Possibly, yeah,
like,
it could be.
Like, he's not terrible, but like, he just kind of, it feels like there should be more to him or more going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, there was obviously like a story there, you know, like he was not there to help him when he was going through the illness stuff.
Yeah.
But then now he is going to be there for him when he's, you know, when he needs it this time around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they landed it very well.
No, I think the girlfriend actress is pretty good. I really like the dynamic with the 3 of them, to be honest. I like how, like, that guy, the fan guy. I like the idea. It seems like he wasn't his friend, and it's purely because he recognized him that he's become friends with him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the fact that it's nothing to do with, they didn't know each other beforehand. He's only friends with him because he knows his secret and he can't, like, not be friends with him now.
Yeah.
That's a funny dynamic. I really like, I think the comedy timing in it's really good. Some of the cutaway jokes are really funny. I mean, the first time that it shows him finding out he's like, "You're the super guy," and like the perfect cut off on like the peak of his voice.
Yeah.
A lot of the turning to camera and saying one thing and then turning to the character and saying another. Like, I think he figured out how to do that without making it repetitive. Like, it's almost the comedy joke of like doing in threes. Like, he does it like, I think he does it 3 times in a row. Like, he says about the cheating, where he's like, "You didn't cheat." He's like, "Oh, I cheated so much. Like, I had to cheat." No, of course I didn't. And then like, I think he does it again straight after that, and then again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's a really hard thing to balance, like a joke like that, because it's like, how often are you gonna have him doing that same thing? Just like, I'm gonna tell the audience one thing, I'm gonna tell this person a different thing. And it's weird because what year did Fleabag come out?
It was after this. I think the first season was 2019.
No way.
I think it was.
No
Maybe it was
way.
2018, but it was after this.
Hang on, we'll check this now. Fleabag came out a while ago.
Well, 2019 was a while ago.
2016.
Was it?
First season, yeah, and then the second season was 2019.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah, I wonder if he was influenced by that at all, because obviously with the first one you had the monologue aspect, but now with this one you have the monologue aspect as like an extra to just him talking with people, right?
Yeah, he uses it to bounce off other people rather than just as the sole storytelling component of the film.
I liked the thing of him at the very beginning. I like the idea of when he's like talking to the camera and getting beaten up. I think that being said, the beginning bit walks the line of like being really like naff looking at times. Like, especially, there's like one shot of the lava guy, and I don't know if it's worth it. I feel like you could have shot it in a way where you never see him.
Yeah. I think that would be quite fun as well, because it's like, in a way, for him, it's a horror, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
For the character himself, because he's like, just, you know, he's terrified for his life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that maybe that would work for not showing the monster.
I like the Voldemort joke. I think that's a funny joke, where he's got the burn on his arm and he can talk.
Yeah, now he's got this Voldemort stuff going on. Yeah.
Great, so he can do all this stuff and now he can do Voldemort stuff. That's a funny joke.
Yeah.
And a pop culture reference. We love those. production design's really good. Like his outfit design's really good.
Yeah, I like his outfit.
Yeah, it's
I'd see
really fun.
production design. I'm sure it was quite good, but it was shot so like the lighting was so dark.
Yeah, like I know what you mean. It's definitely
It hides it a lot, and compared to the first one, I guess it really changes the tone of it.
See, I prefer the lighting of this one to the first one.
Oh, really? I prefer.
They are just different styles. Like,
They
totally,
are.
do you know what
I
mean?
think that this one looks more polished,
Yeah.
more finished off.
Yeah.
But I preferred the lighting in the first one, even if it looked a little bit worse overall.
That's fair. It's very different vibes.
It is.
But I think that's the core of it, right? Because with this one, you're getting a lot more emotion. It's about the emotional beats. It's about
Yeah, I think I guess one of the biggest reasons he probably added the other characters is so he can have those big emotional beats that he can bounce off other people.
Yeah.
But obviously in the first one, it's just him, so it's quite hard to hit those notes when it's just you. You're not reacting to
It feels
anything.
like it has to be lighthearted to that point.
Yeah.
I think the use of flashbacks was really good and clever. What helps is that they clearly put a lot of time and effort into them, like even though they're really short clips.
Yeah.
I mean, the one of him playing football in and of itself is very well done. Like, it's very it's believable. Do you know what I mean? It actually makes you believe that happened.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
Yes.
Because I feel like you could, especially with short films, people sometimes, I don't know, it made the world feel bigger and less like it's just a story taking place in a house when that's really what it is. But yeah, using stuff like that, and then obviously all the clips of him being sick. I think being more what's the word I'm looking for? They hone in more on the idea of him being sick as well, which I like. Whereas in the first one, he kind of has a throwaway joke about like he's like, oh, putting it upon my body, yeah, I had something wrong there. Like that joke is like in this they get to kind of capitalize on it more by having like no, he was like sick, like it's implied cancer, I guess.
Yeah, I see one thing that the first one I think did a little bit better is it introduced that internal conflict a lot earlier. Like it hits you with he was sick and he's already experienced nearly dying once and he doesn't want to do it again, but in this one it takes like maybe 3 or 4 minutes for that point to come across.
I think it does. I mean, from the beginning, like one of the first things that happens is when he speaks to his dad, it cuts to the thing of him being given an injection and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like it sets up pretty early on, but that's like it's the journey of the film, right? You're kind of learning and learning.
Yeah, that is true.
And I really like the build up to the scene where he just kind of starts breaking down. He's trying to take his costume off, which I think is really interesting, and then he's like, he doesn't know what I look like, I can like hide. And she's like, you need to do something, and then he starts crying. And again, fantastic acting from him. And the line of him saying, I already beat this once, it's not fair. And I think that's such an interesting concept, again, for like such a tragic idea. Like this superhero, this guy who had cancer, beat it, became stronger, started helping people, and then is just faced, because of the fact he has powers, is faced with the situation where he's most likely dead. And like having to come, if you really break it down, just that idea of, you could look at this as just a what's the word I'm looking for? A metaphor for like getting cancer again.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean? Like that's a very real circumstance. Like someone beats cancer and they somehow get it again.
I know. It'll come to me in a minute.
There is a term, isn't there?
Yeah, relapse. No, is it that it?
I think it can be. I think that's a term. But like that idea of I beat it. This isn't fair. Why do I have to go through this again? Why me?
Yeah.
I think that's really, it's powerful. Like it's really sad, and I like the fact then it comes down to kind of the dad saying to him, "You don't have to go out there." Like that, just giving him the autonomy almost to be like, "Listen, you don't have to. It's not your responsibility. You don't have to do it." And that kind of, I think that with what she says to him as well, it just kind of pushes him to like choose to go and do it. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, it does. I can see obviously though there is a reason for the characters being there, and what, as you've said, it really does hit it there. One thing that they did remove from this one was the hospital band, which I think served a similar purpose.
Yeah.
Right, like showing his the trauma that he'd already been through without even really needing to say anything at all. I think that's maybe one of the reasons I prefer the first one, is obviously there's a lot of talking in both of these films.
Yeah.
But I think the first one achieves a lot more without saying anything.
No, you're totally right.
And I think this one is a lot more dialogue heavy and character interaction heavy.
Yeah.
To get across that exposition and the feelings and everything, which is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what you said last week, that had to be a film.
Yeah.
This
I
one,
totally get what you mean.
I don't think this one did have to be a film. I think you could have written this and achieved the same thing.
No, I think you're totally right. You're onto something there.
Yeah,
we spoke last week about the idea of showing and not telling, stuff like that.
Exactly.
I do think this does achieve that in some ways, especially with the flashback sequences. I think it does a good job.
Yeah, I think some of that stuff is really good,
Yeah.
and I mean you can tell that's where a lot of the budget went because
I think a good example of that is the scene with keeps coming back to
the bridge.
bus.
Yeah, the bridge.
And
Yeah,
it's never actually said. It's not. There's a scene where he's like, "I broke the bridge, you
Yeah.
idiots."
I like that
just
it builds
keeps
up to it.
showing
Yeah,
and then you realise, oh fuck, he
yeah,
caused the first thing.
yeah. And I feel like if you're really paying attention to what he's saying and how he's reacting to things, the very first flashback where he's just drinking by a thing, you can immediately be like, oh, he did it. And I love that it's like you can spot it straight away, but also it does kind of like it gives you a little bit more, but it still doesn't baby step you towards it, like it almost, it just like, what's the word, it reassures you that you've made the correct assumptions about it. Do you know what I mean? It like
cements
it. Yeah, exactly. It cements it in place, and you're like, oh yeah, that is what happened. I really like that. I think that was really well written.
Yeah.
Little section, and I guess that bit kind of had to be in a film to be effective.
Yeah. I think if I was going to criticize anything, I'd say there's a few like just shots and moments where I'm like, that could have been significantly cut down in terms of time. Or like there's the bit where, and I get what they were going for, where they're downstairs and there's I think the volcano guy lands outside or something, and then Hero, because he doesn't have a name, jumps or flies upstairs, and there's just this shot where it's meant to be that he's like flown off really quick, and then the girlfriend looks up and then runs up the stairs. I feel like that whole section doesn't really work. It's literally seconds long, but something about it really takes me out of it.
Okay, breaks the pacing a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, and the shot goes on a bit longer. They wanted to get the joke in of the fan friend taking a photo out the window when he's running upstairs, and it just makes that shot go on too long.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fan friends character stuff is a bit like...
Oh, I like his character a lot. I think he works, but it's just
I think some of it could have been cut out, like what you were just saying.
I think that definitely could. I don't know. I feel like his jokes are alright for the most
Yeah.
part. I don't think there's anything else.
I think the cutaway is the best bit.
Yeah,
but outside of that, I don't think he added
I liked
that
the
much.
joke near the end where he's having a heart-to-heart with his girlfriend, like a real heart-to-heart, and then he just puts his hand in his head and he's like, "You're awesome, dude."
Yeah.
I don't know, that really cracked me up.
The lighting in it, again, I think it could have been... I think they did change it a little bit, but I think it could have been really interesting if it was a little bit lighter, or I guess different, and then when the volcano guy turns up, you put really harsh red through all the windows.
Yeah,
something like that. They do a little bit with it, but it kind of... I don't know, I feel like it's a big moment when suddenly the volcano guy's outside.
But
and
then I guess they have, because then from that point you have the fire, the lights in the windows keep coming up.
Yeah.
Right? You see the flames and shit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, no, I quite liked the lighting. I don't know, something about it worked for me. I like the dark, lighting of it and the kind of highlights on people, I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. And the only other thing that I can think of right now, the blocking of the characters was a little bit weird.
That's what I was going to say. It was totally weird. That was one of my big issues, is there's a few moments where I'm like, these characters are weird.
It's like him just facing all three of them.
Yeah, multiple times as well.
Yeah, it happens a few times, downstairs in the corridor, and then when they run upstairs to his bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's it's not very dynamic.
No, it doesn't feel real. It feels like they're on a set.
It's just they're all just talking at him.
Yeah.
And he's just talking back at them, and it's just it's a written conversation.
The most normal it looks is the bit where he sat at the table
in the kitchen
next to him, and the girlfriend and the dad are stood up. I think that's the most natural.
It's the shot where he says to the camera about the football thing.
Yeah,
it's that shot. That shot looks really good, but all of the others, it's a bit weird.
No, I totally agree. I would also say the soundtrack's not as good. At the very least, it's not as noticeable. But then I don't know if that's just a case of the nature of this short film versus the first version.
Yeah, because it's a lot more dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
First one's a comedy.
The first one was a comedy, and the music we said last time about how it kind of sounds like a superhero anthem sort of thing going. That was a repeating kind of. So there's the I'm trying to think how you
What are you trying to say?
It's the music.
It's rhythmic.
No. Very specific, like a recurring theme, like a
Motif.
Motif. Thank you. The motif of the superhero kind of anthemy sound in the first one was really effective, but then it's a different style of short film.
Yeah.
So I think it just wouldn't work in this.
Well, I feel like the first one was it was like a Superman-y kind of theme, wasn't it? It was like a Christopher Reeves kind of
it's
Superman.
a classic, like superhero.
And
I think that goes with the lighting.
exactly, like
as well,
it fits with that film.
Kind of film.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting that he managed these two different versions of it.
See, I think as like a conclusion to this, if you were going to revisit a short film that you'd already done, I think you would do something like this. I think you
100%.
would do something very different.
He did the other one.
Yeah, you've already done it. You don't want to do it again.
He just had obviously, I wonder if when he made the original, this is more what he had in mind, and it was just a case of making do with what you've got, limitations, which isn't a bad thing. As you're saying, I could totally see why you like the first one more. I don't think that's a wrong.
Yeah, I think it's good because it's it is just a personal preference thing. I think they're both made very well. You can obviously tell that this one had a lot more money put into it, but I think they're both made to really good high standard, and it's really fun to see which one people prefer. Yeah, comment down below which one you prefer. We have not had a single comment yet. I don't think we'll get any tens, if that. What? So I guess because last time you ranked Hero over Smoker's Delight. Yeah, so it's now my top spot. The 2013 version.
So it sounds like you won't be spoiled.
I won't. No, I'll be sticking with 2013 Hero.
So I'm still on
Ticker Monster.
Bloody
Ticker Monster.
I do really like this one though.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I'm debating in my head right now. I feel like the best world. There's a version of Hero where the other version and this version are combined, and I feel like that's maybe the better film. The aspects of both of them that really work. Yeah. I don't think I can, in good conscience, put this over Tickle Monster though. Again, Tickle Monster is just perfect, and I think I really like this one, and I think it's a really good it's a really good piece of work to watch to really make you want to make stuff. Even because even with the first version and this version, you look at them and again, both have merits, and they're both pretty basic in terms of what they are. But do you think Tickle Monster's better? I think it's just it's
classic Alex.
3 minutes.
Can't change his opinion.
In 3 minutes, Tickle Monster does so much. Whereas
it's a 3-minute miracle.
Is 12 minutes. So
what did you say the budget for this was?
25,000 estimated.
25,000
estimated.
How much did Tickle Monster cost? 6,000. 7,000. I think it was 7,500.
Let me find out.
Around there. So this was what, a third? Three times the budget?
7,500.
Yeah, so 3 times the budget.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tickle Monster does look a lot better.
But then you have to also consider the fact that Tickle Monster takes place in one room. This takes place in 3 different rooms in a house, and all the flashback stuff.
Yeah, the flashback stuff is the expensive.
The beginning section with the warehouse.
And
stunt in there.
Yeah.
The effects, special effects, the costuming. I get why this cost more. And Tickle Monster, most of the budget for that probably went to the puppet of the Tickle Monster.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Or the suit, or whatever it was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can support putting Tickle Monster above this.
Yeah.
It's
I think it's, and again, I think out of the two, I personally prefer this one to the first one.
Okay.
But marginally, I really like both of them.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to look at them side by side.
Yeah, definitely. I think it really is.
See where he decided to change things. Maybe it could also be a case of it in those 5 years he's changed as a filmmaker.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
It changes over time.
It does.
So yeah, that could be a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've said everything.
Every single thing. We said every single thing.
Every single thing.
Wait. Cheerios. Now we've said every single
Now we've said it.
The
There are no opinions that can surprise us now.
No.
No. All right. Well, I think it's time for that ditty again.
Yeah,
And it's coming flying in through the open window.
Here it comes. Short take is done.
Lovely, thank you.
I haven't signed the D yet. Bye.
No, I haven't done everything else yet.
Oh my god.
The film will be linked down below.
Mm-hmm.
All of our socials will be linked down below.
I don't use the link to my socials yet.
No, you don't. Yours won't be linked there. I'll take them out. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.